Hello ladies and gents, DKD6 right back here with you, and today I'm talking about the Microsoft Devices Conference which took place yesterday. I have a lot to say about this, so let's roll that intro. Okay, so you're probably quite intrigued by the title of this video. Is Microsoft the new Apple? Some may even say it's blaspheming me saying that, because Microsoft and Apple are seen as rivals these days. But at the same time, you have to appreciate what Microsoft is doing here, and I have my reasons for saying this, so let's get straight into it. Firstly, I'd like to say that this video is not to outline all the nitty-gritty details about what Microsoft unveiled and telling you the technical specifications of everything that they unveiled. This video is my opinion on Microsoft's new direction under the leadership of Satya Nadella, and I think it's interesting to examine what Microsoft is trying to do here and what it means for us, the consumers. So I'll give you a brief overview of what Microsoft unveiled. I'll leave a link in the description down below so you can watch the whole conference for yourself on the Microsoft website. It's on there and it's on demand, and if you're even the slightest bit interested in this topic, then I really suggest you go and watch it. So first off, they unveiled, well, they didn't unveil it because we've already seen it numerous times now, but it was HoloLens. What they showcased was a demo that they've developed in-house called Project X-Ray. And Project X-Ray is wearable holograms, essentially. So you had a guy on stage, it was a live demo in front of the audience, and he was wearing a hologram. It was a gauntlet, and he could fire with it and stuff and blow holes in walls. He eventually began getting attacked by robots that were breaking through the walls, and he was fighting them on stage, and it looked amazing. I've never seen anything like it. You've got to see it to see exactly what I'm talking about. This thing was insane. The development kit is going to cost $3,000 and it's going to go out to developers soon. Don't let the $3,000 put you off though. That is for a development kit, so it shouldn't be indicative of what the retail version is going to cost. So hopefully the retail version will be a lot cheaper than that, because I want this thing and I don't want to be spending $3,000 on it. So moving on, they showcased the new Microsoft Band. We've had a Microsoft Band before. This is the new version. It's now got 11 sensors, including a barometer. It can sense elevation, all that sort of stuff. It's aimed more at people that are into an active lifestyle, you know, fitness fanatics and all that sort of stuff. It was received well by the crowd and by news outlets and stuff, so yeah, I think they're onto a winner with that one. Next up, they unveiled two new mobile phones for you Americans, two new cell phones, the 950 and the 950 XL. They're Lumia phones, which were originally branded Nokia, but now they're branded Microsoft, because I think Microsoft dissolved Nokia after buying them. So these two handsets are really interesting. They're extremely powerful. They have adaptive antennas, so depending on how you're holding the phone, it picks the best antenna setup for you, so you always have the best signal possible no matter how you're holding the device. But the special thing about these handsets is that they're not just mobile devices, they're actually PCs, because they're running the full Windows 10 experience. Well, they're calling it a PC-like experience, but from what I saw, it looked like a full Windows 10 experience. So you get the phone, you plug it into a dock. The dock is connected to monitors, wireless keyboard, wireless mouse, and then you can use your phone as a PC. So you can attach an external hard drive, run Outlook, run Office applications, use your mouse and keyboard, use keyboard shortcuts, while at the same time your phone is charging from this dock and your phone is still functioning as a phone, even though in the background it's outputting this Windows 10 experience. So it was amazing. It was innovative, it was clean, it seemed to work well, it's functional, it was great. After that, they showcased the new Surface Pro 4. The Surface Pro 3 has been extremely popular. I know a few people that are crazy about the damn thing. The Surface Pro 4 looks even better. And the interesting thing with the Surface Pro 4 was that Microsoft actually compared it to the MacBook Air. We all know that the MacBook Air is really nice technology and it's quite powerful for what it is. So the Surface Pro 4 is actually 50% more powerful than the MacBook Air. And I found it interesting that they actually compared it like apples to apples with an Apple product. They even praised Apple on the MacBook Air, but yeah, the Surface Pro is 50% more powerful than the MacBook Air. Anyways, moving on from that, and not to linger too much on the Surface Pro, they unveiled a brand new product. It's something that Microsoft hasn't done before. It's their first ever laptop, and they're calling it the Surface Book. Now, the guy presenting all this, his name was Panos Panay, and he got applause and cheering from the crowd when he came out on stage, and I had never personally heard of the guy, but I don't think I'll ever forget his name now, because his presenting style was outstanding. I mean, he was talking on stage and it was just gripping, you know? You couldn't stop listening to the guy, he was amazing. Anyways, to get to the point, he showcased this thing called the Surface Book. And this was by far one of the most exciting announcements of the night, because not only is it a brand new Microsoft laptop, which they haven't done before, this thing is insane. It's got a hinge on it, which is an interesting design. It's called a dynamic fulcrum. Really, really cool design. It kind of looks like a MacBook Pro because it's like a single piece of aluminium or aluminum. Really, really nice looking device. It's got a great screen. It's got a Pixel Sense screen. It's a full touch screen. It's great. It looks amazing. They're actually touting it as the ultimate laptop and the most powerful laptop ever made. But the interesting thing was they actually directly compared it to a MacBook Pro. This thing, the Surface Book, they're saying is twice as powerful as a MacBook Pro. And that's a bold statement, because people with MacBook Pros are like, you know, they're die-hard fans of Apple, and then you've got Microsoft coming out of nowhere and saying that the Surface Book is twice as powerful. Oh, by the way, the Surface Pro 4 also comes with the Microsoft Pen, and it has an eraser on the top of it. It's kind of like the Apple Pencil, but it seems to be more functional. Panos Panay also made a joke that the pen has an eraser, but there's pencils out there without an eraser. Anyways, the point of all this is that all of these are Windows 10 devices. Windows 10 is obviously the last operating system. Microsoft is, well, they said it's the last one, and they're just going to keep updating over the time. So now, instead of being an operating system which they release, you know, like Windows 10, Windows 11, whatever, they're just going to keep updating this. So Windows 10 is now a service as well as an operating system, and this operating system is going across all of their devices. So it's on the Xbox One, it's on Windows Phone, it's on Surface, it's on Surface Book, it's on the Microsoft Band, it's on HoloLens. All of these devices are running the same operating system, Windows 10, and that's where the magic is. And I think that's what's important, because if you look at Apple, you've got Apple running Mac OS and you've got them running iOS on their mobile devices. But the beauty with Apple products is the ecosystem. Once you're in that ecosystem, you don't want to leave that ecosystem, because if you have an iPad, it's connected to your iPhone's connected to your Mac is connected to freaking everything else. Everything just works, and Steve Jobs is famous for saying that. He's famous for saying it just works, and I think that's exactly what Microsoft is doing here. Yes, they're late to the party. They're definitely late to the party. I mean, it's way too late now, isn't it? Right? Or is it? Because what you need to remember is, for people to be tempted away from the Apple ecosystem, there has to be another big player out there. And I truly believe that that big player right now is Microsoft. And if I was Apple, I would be concerned about this, because not only is Microsoft showing innovation now, and in ways they're showing more innovation than Apple, which is surprising because Apple is said to be one of the most innovative companies in the world right now. But then you've got Microsoft coming out, developing their own devices now, so now it's bespoke hardware with their own operating system. It's almost exactly what Apple did in the past. And we all know how successful Apple is now. So with Microsoft coming out of nowhere and developing their own devices with their own operating system, with a full ecosystem of linked devices with a single OS and a single vision in mind, that's quite dangerous. It's not dangerous for the consumer, it's dangerous for Apple, and it's dangerous for all of Microsoft's competitors, because this is the start of something that could be huge. And if it takes off the way Microsoft wants it to take off, this is insane. So leading back to the point of this video in the first place, is Microsoft the new Apple? Can you really disagree with that statement right now? Because if you look at all of the evidence in front of us, Microsoft is definitely aiming to be the new Apple. Especially with all these devices and single OS and ecosystem. They're creating an ecosystem that's not only in your pocket, on your desk, or at your workplace, it's also in your living room with the Xbox One. And I think that Windows 10 on all these devices with this massive ecosystem, I mean, I love my iPhone. And right now, even I'm tempted to move over to a Windows Phone, even though the Windows App Store is tiny. But at the same time, what you have to remember is if all of these devices are running a single OS, then developers will be enticed by this, because developers can code an app for a Windows 10 PC, scale it for a Windows Mobile, and also scale the same app to work on Xbox and Surface, and integrate it with the Microsoft Band. It's all a single OS, not to mention HoloLens, because that's running Windows 10 as well. So what's stopping a developer creating more apps for Windows devices when it's not a saturated market already like iOS is? It's a market there for the taking, and the more developers that come over to the marketplace for Windows devices, I mean, they're bound to make money from it, right? So yeah, I think we need to watch this space. We need to follow what Microsoft is doing closely and see how this develops. So I think it's interesting, because now we've finally got competition against the Apple ecosystem, and that's something that we haven't seen in a long time. I know there's Android, there's Samsung and blah blah blah, but at the same time you had Android, which it's not my favorite operating system in the world, because it's on many different devices, and it's like jack of all trades, master of none, really. I mean, yeah, let's not get into it. Anyways, what are your thoughts on this? I think it's really interesting. I think it's great news from Microsoft. I think they've had outstanding announcements. Satya Nadella gave a speech at the end of the conference, and it was truly inspiring. I need to work for this company, I really do. Anyways, leave a comment below, let me know what you thought of this video. What do you think of this whole new Microsoft ecosystem and the devices? Do you think it was freaking amazing like I did? Or did it blow your mind? What do you think of it? Leave a comment below, let me know. And hit like if you liked this video, dislike if you disliked it. And yeah, let me know what you thought, guys. Thanks for watching. I am DKD6. Bye.